G'day, Steel Nation. How you going? It's Mark here, Mark Davidson from Steel Nation Australia.
What's going on, West Country? Oh, what's that? Let's go! Baby! Yes! Yes! Let's go!
What's the deal with the schedule?
I think the stereotypes that we drew Fosters, and the first Foster I saw was in Pittsburgh. It's a true story.
Yeah,
The first ever Foster I saw was in America. I've never
I
seen one
thought that
again.
was like Australia for beer.
For what? Alrighty, Steel Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. If you aren't catching this live, make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you want to, if you enjoy the program. Do all those YouTube things, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I'm a bit fired up today too. I've got a few topics I want to cover in terms of the schedule. Mike Tomlin, Russ Wilson, the gauntlet schedule too, receiver 2, and stuff like that. I want to cover a few things in this video, just in time as well. G'day, George. Just in time for the Buccaneers versus the Chiefs. One quick note though, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like because the Steelers had the bye, we then got forgotten about. Like the Jets won their game and they went super crazy for Aaron Rodgers and the catch and the shin went down. Like I feel like the Steelers are yet again forgotten about because we had the bye. Like in that sense. Like Pickens had his catch, and yes, the rule book does say you need to have 2 feet down, 1, 2, left, right, and the shin counts as 2 feet. Will they look into that into the off season and change it? Don't know, don't really care. But the Jets won their game over the Texans, and they were like 6-2, and the Jets are like trying to be relevant again. The Ravens won big on the weekend. The Bengals won big on the weekend. They're trying to call back into the AFC North conversation. Also, the wild card conversation. The Brown season is toast and done, but I feel like the Steelers right now the perspective is, they're just a 6-2 team that hasn't done much in the first half. We're going to go through that, and also we're going to go through the schedule in the gauntlet and really start to get pumped up and fired about our team. Because remember, they have to play us too. Don't forget that. A lot of fans out there are really worried and scared about, the schedule. It's so daunting. It's so crazy. Got the Commanders. They're 7-2. Got the Ravens. And then we have the Bengals, Browns, Bengals, or whatever it is. Browns, Bengals, Browns, Bengals, Browns. 4 AFC North teams in a row. They have to play us too. Don't forget that. So when we're cheering our team on, we're 6-2. We're a good football team right now. Yeah, there's a few pieces where you can get better, but a lot of teams out there aren't 100%. The Chiefs are just getting away with some wins as well, so they could lose tonight versus the Buccaneers. They could move to 7-1. There's no perfect team in the NFL, and that includes our Steelers in terms of the offensive line, in terms of maybe there could be a bit more depth at D-line. Possibly, people talk about receiver move. Maybe they should make a move at D-line to have some more depth. We haven't got DeMarvin Leal back there now. He's on IR. Anyways, let's get through it. It's going to be a good show. I'm just fucking fired up at the fact that a lot of NFL's forgetting about the Steelers, and it's because you know what it is. It's probably because we haven't won that playoff game in 7 years. But they're all talking about Ravens, talking about Bengals coming back now, talking about the Jets with A-Rod and then that crazy game. They're still a 3-4 team, whatever they are. All right, let's do some shout-outs, and then we'll start the show. G'day, Gene, what's going on? G'day, J-Devil. G'day, George T, what's up? G'day, TD, how are you, mate? Anyone else on the show? No, that's it. Only 3 of us. So hopefully more people come on the show after. Yeah, tell me. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Tell me. Because I want to start with this. While you get that going, Gene, I want to start with this. And like I'm just fired up because I think we're a good six. We're not a great 6-2 team, but we're a good 6-2 team that is leading the AFC North and has not yet played a division game in terms of like the standing can really chop and change. Next week it's going to be Bengals versus Ravens on Thursday night. I think we want the Bengals to win to bring back the Ravens back to reality, so then we have a more clear gap. But at the same time, as long as we win like 4-2, 5-1 in our division for the AFC North, then we should have a clear path. We've got 9 games to go. 9 games to go to get us a clear path to win the AFC North, have home field advantage, and also not many people are talking about not just winning the AFC North or getting into the playoffs. What about the number 1 seed? Why can't we go for the number 1 seed? The goal shouldn't just be to make the playoffs. The goal should be to win the number 1 seed and set yourselves up to have a week off and let the other teams come to us. And for once, we can play a playoff game at home and really take advantage with a Russ Wilson-led team. I don't care who the fuck the receivers are. A Russ-led team with our offense, running the ball, play action, throw tight ends, throw to Darnell, throw to Pickens, and win the game that way and win the game with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith healthy. This team is getting healthy. And you see a lot of whingers and complainers out there. So many whingers and complainers. Oh, we haven't got this. We need the extra piece. I don't think we do. I don't think we do need the extra piece. Anyways, exactly right. G'day, John. What's going on? What up, John? Jed says we need a number 2. Yeah, it's so. What does it mean to be true iron? Tell me, Gene. Put in the chat. You're dead set. Number 2 long snapper. But here it is, right? I want to talk about just quickly this schedule that was. Hang on a minute. Where is it? One sec. I got my things around wrong. So the Colts. Here it is. Here. Sorry, my apologies. The Colts versus Jets have now been moved to 1 p.m. because they're both shit teams. Like that's what they are. The Colts are a bad team. The Jets are a bad team too. They've moved them, and in place of that, they have the Bengals versus Chargers on the flex to Sunday Night Football in Week 11. Now, my first thought was, why wouldn't you put the Ravens versus Steelers? Like that's a much better game, a better rival game, AFC North divisional game, nighttime. Steelers versus Ravens would be fantastic. But there are some positives from that because the Steelers can now play the Ravens in 2 weeks' time at 1 p.m. And then they have the Browns after that on a Thursday night football game. So it gives him more time after the game. You play a 1 p.m. game or, it ends at like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. You go home, have some rest, have some dinner, sleep. They might have a day off the next day. Then they might practice Tuesday, light run through Wednesday. Then they're back playing the game Thursday. So in that sense, I'm kind of like, I would love to see Steelers versus Ravens prime time because it works out better for me. My 12 p.m. now, you guys are falling back with the hours. But in that sense, yeah, it just couldn't happen that way. But also, I found out too from Nick Farabaugh, one of the blokes. Come on, is it up there or not? Can you see it? I can't see it. Hold up. I can't see it. That's fantastic. My stuff's not working. Anyways, from Nick Farabaugh, I don't know if it's up there or not, but he said the reason why was because it was a contract. I can't. It's not even there. It was a contract situation with. No, I can't see it. Anyways, there was a contract situation with CBS. They couldn't let go of the game. So that's probably why they couldn't move the Steelers versus Ravens into Sunday night. At the same time, though, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's going to be good to have a home game. The Ravens play at daytime. It's going to be a crazy game anyway. But now they can rest up after the game. So we will be seeing. That's funny, man. I can show that one, but I can't show the other one. It's really weird. I can show this one. I can show Loser Joe and Loser Herbert, but I can't show the other one that I put in my little bar here. So yeah, that's what's happening next few weeks. The Colts are moving and the Bengals are moving there. But don't forget about the Bengals-Ravens game, right? The Bengals-Ravens game. Hooey dooly. G'day, Still Go. What's going on? 100%. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. I'm so sick of this, man. This is like the 1 year that I'm actually like really over. I think some of the comments from there are YouTubers out there. I'm not going to name them, but they're just so worried. They're so worried about the fact that we have to verse this schedule and this 8-game, 9-game run. Oh, we have to go to Philadelphia. Then 4 days later, we play the Chiefs. Who gives a fuck? Just go and play the game. These fellas are grown men. They're built in a steel city. The standard is a standard. They're playing tough physical football. I guarantee you that they probably want it. They love to play this. Yeah, it's not the best circumstances, but Elliott and Cameron Hayward and Benton and all these big blokes and Atlanta Roberts who likes to hit people, do you think it overly worries him to play 2 games in a row, 4 days like that? No, it doesn't. They're there to hit. They're there to hit. They're there to hit someone. Their goal is to go and win a championship. That's what their goal is. So, g'day, still go. What's going on? How are you? All right. So, anyways, I wanted to also give a big shout out to Mike Tomlin. I know a lot of people don't like Mike Tomlin, but this is going to really hurt your ears if you don't, because I love and appreciate what Mike Tomlin has done for this club. I think Mike Tomlin, to be honest, could be considered to be Coach of the Year. Now, he's never won Coach of the Year, but this might be the one. Dead set. G'day, Juice. What's going on, mate? This might be the one where Coach Tomlin could be Coach of the Year, because this whole situation around the gauntlet or the harder schedule in the league, right? Still facing now. If he goes on a run and wins games of 6-0 versus a division, or 5-1, or 4-2, something similar, gets his chance to be number 1 seed, or maybe win the North, and the Chiefs might fail in here and there. But at the same time, I think that Andy Reid, he's looking to be Coach of the Year. The Lions guy, the guy who eats kneecaps, or whatever he does, bites him at the kneecaps. I can't remember his name. So he's the Lions coach's consideration. I think as well the Bills coach might be in consideration. I thought the Vikings coach might have been because of their record. But really, Mike Tomlin should be thrown into that discussion about being Coach of the Year, because he's gotten also, when you think about all the different things with a quarterback change, with Justin Fields getting him a 4-2 record, and then he told you guys, he told everybody in Steel Nation that Russell Wilson was going to be quarterback number 1. He was in pole position. He was the guy. He got hurt pushing a sled, and then he was out 6 weeks. Justin Fields took over as QB2. He was never benched. He was QB2. And then he filled in the role, got the team to a 4-2 record, which is a positive record. Once Russell Wilson came back, 2 wins in a row versus New York Jets, the stupid New York Jets, and led by Aaron Rodgers, and also the win over the Giants, who were a tough team, playing real tough defense and D-line, and they ran over us. But Mike Tomlin got this team to a 6-2 record. And why I say he would be Coach of the Year is if he can get this O-line through all the injuries, if he can get this, we haven't got a receiver too, through the playoffs or through a great record, and finish the season 12-5, maybe possibly 13-4, win the AFC North, have almost a draw card to be number 1 seed. If the Chiefs fall over and the Bills fall over, he's in big consideration for his first time in the NFL to be Coach of the Year. Now, Coach of the Year, of course, it's going to focus on what you do this year with 2024. It doesn't really take into account, I don't think, in other years where you've played or your true success. But Coach Tomlin has his team ready to play. And a lot of media, a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of AFC North media from the Bengals, the Ravens, and all those guys predicted the Steelers to come fourth. That doesn't happen with a Mike Tomlin-led team. It just doesn't. Omar Khan made all the right key moves, getting Elliott, getting Queen, made the right key moves in the draft. Frazier, yeah, he's injured, but they got Beanie Bishop undrafted. All those dudes, right, coming in to play solid football, led by Fitzpatrick, led by TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward, who also was thrown under the bus via some of the Steelers fans. Mike Tomlin is in true consideration to be Coach of the Year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments or in the live chat or whatever it may be. This might be a video. I'm that fired up. And he really should be recognized for his work and his leadership for this team. Now, the naysayers will sit there and say, he hasn't won a playoff game in 7 years. Well, you know what? You haven't won a playoff game in 7 years either. So let Mike Tomlin do his job, get off his nuts, let him play football. He's gonna take this team to the AFC North. He's going to win that award if he goes on a big stretch and beats this gauntlet, which I'm going to talk about next. I told you today, I'm fired up. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. In consideration too, Danny Smith, hell of a bloke. If there was a special teams coach of the year, this guy could be also up there too. He's playing fantastic football, coaching fantastic football too. And that's, they always talk about Mike Tomlin's coaching tree. Well, that's one of them. That's one. He won't be a head coach. You won't be seeing Danny Smith, get the new job for the Raiders or the Saints who just fired their coach Dennis, whoever. Right? He's not going to do that. So the coaching tree, I think, is a bit of a myth. But Mike Tomlin definitely, from my perspective and my fan in Australia, he definitely deserves some respect. Getting this team to 6-2, getting them into a chance to run out this gauntlet, this little oh my god, the gauntlet, run the gauntlet and go and improve to a 12-4 or a 12-5 or a 13-4 season, winning the North and wait until we run those 4 games versus AFC North. I can't wait till we win them all. If we win them all, I'm going to laugh my fucking head off. Alrighty. What's going on, Chloe? How are you? Hooly dooly. 100%. G'day, 86. What's up? I'm so over it, man. I'm so done. Speaking of that, I think you guys choose your president tomorrow or something. I don't know what it is. Holy dooly, man. All right, got some people in the chat. I just really wanted to cover that topic too, because he has had a chance in past years, but there had been, is it Dan Campbell won it? No, not Dan Campbell. The Browns guy won it last year, but Dan Campbell could have been in consideration. Dan Campbell this year, definitely with his Lions, they're 7-1. That's coach of the year material. Andy Reid is a fantastic coach. That's coach of the year material. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if we get to Christmas and it's Christmas Day and Coach Tomlin versus Andy Reid to maybe win the division, that should be up there, that you've outplayed the other team and getting respect to win that game. And also, putting a stamp on, boom, I beat you, here we go. It's Coach Tomlin. I think he's got a real good chance to win Coach of the Year. The team just got to play like they have been, playing physical football, hitting hard. And I think also this rest too. That's why I named the show the Pittsburgh Steelers refresh from the bye week. Here we go, because they're coming back from the bye. They're getting healthy. There's reports now that Cordarrelle Patterson is coming back. I think he can be used in the receiving game. He can be used in third down running back. He can be used in kickoff return. Nobody's kicking the ball to him because they don't want to see what he can do on the return. He's a big fella running hard and straight. Zach Frazier's also been linked to be returning back to the team too. And Nick Herbig, outside linebacker, returning. And you got to give shout out to there's two blokes. I can't remember his name. I'll try and pronounce his name, but they've been filling in too. What's his name? I can't remember what his name is. Outside linebacker. Maybe they cut him again. He might have been cut again. I can't believe that. They got Jeremiah Moon, and they had another bloke there who was filling in. I can't remember his name though. There's Aditi someone. Oh, here it is. Adid Ogunji. He played there, like number 48. Like he was filling in. Don't know what he was doing, but he was filling in. So I also think too they brought back that other guy from the practice squad too. Dylan someone came back from the squad too. So other guys been filling in for our team. That's why I'm so high on Coach Tomlin this year, because there's been so many injuries at so many positions. The fact that now we have, Mason McCormick playing, that Ryan McCollum's filling in for center, you know what I mean? And they're playing with like 4 or 5 tight ends on the roster. But he definitely deserves consideration to fill in. Hooly dooly. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just kind of happy. Look, whoever wins. It's all good. I won't talk about it. It's fine. Go vote, don't vote, do whatever you want. You all have freedom. Alrighty. So Gene says, hot take: when we see the Chiefs, when we see the Chiefs lose, we will know. 100%. Dylan Cook, that's the guy. Tackle. So he got cut like 2 days ago, and then he came back in. So that always happens, though. It always happens. G'day, Mike. What's going on, mate? Lions look really good. Watch them take down the Vikings and Packers. Yeah, I've tried to watch some highlights recently, but man, I don't have too much time. When I was a kid, not about you, when I was a kid, I would watch all the highlights. I would watch all the football games, like all the 40 minutes. But I'm that busy doing other things now. It's like, man, trying to run this YouTube channel, trying to get the Steelers news. It's very tough. I saw the Saquon Barkley jump backwards thing. That was pretty cool. So I'm not as well versed I used to be when I was a kid, around like 12 years of age, having more time to watch the game. But I will watch today. I watch the next hour or so the Buccaneers versus Chiefs because I want to see an upset. I want to see Baker Mayfield upset the Chiefs and beat them and go, holy crazy, they're not the best team ever, right? So I'm cheering the Buccaneers to win today to see the Chiefs lose. But yeah, 100%. 100%. I hear that. Dead set, he's playing good football too. Beanie Bishop is Rookie of the Year. He's 3 interceptions. He's also, they're going to find out what happens with Sutton, but I think this team's coming back to health. It really is. G'day, Carth. What's going on? One big thank you to you, mate. You always say thank you for the video, so thank you for checking out Steel Nation Oz. I am so fired up today. You know why? Because they're counting us out. They did this. They did this in 2020, but this feels different in 2020. This team is so much better on defense, on offense. We actually have a real offense that can move the ball down the field. Russell Wilson in 2 games, you're thinking, oh my goodness, why did Denver cut him? Denver, you losers. Like you cut him. Sean Payton, and also in that game too, Sean Payton's Broncos versus the Ravens. The Ravens absolutely towed you up. You weren't ready. Your Broncos defense was not physical, couldn't tackle. The times you went for a 4th down didn't make any sense. Some of the play calling was really stupid, like a fullback dive that made no sense. They had to bring out the Philly special. Like Sean Payton is a very arrogant coach, and that's why I want to see Russell Wilson have the success, because you let go of a guy who can now turn around his season and get back into the Hall of Fame, possibly go win a championship. No one's really talking about the Steelers. There are some little pockets out there, mini pockets saying, oh, we have a chance. But in reality, when you think about it, 6-2, our Steelers are running the football well. Najee looks fitter, stronger, hits hard, and Warren is getting back to health. Don't allow the Pittsburgh Steelers to run the ball and play good defense and get TJ Watt healthy, get Highsmith healthy again. Don't allow that, because when they do, you'll be shutting teams out. And the Commanders coming up very shortly. The Commanders next week. That's probably one of our biggest threats. On paper, it's a 7-2 team. They're playing fantastic football. But what if the Steelers go on and knuckle them down and only allow them 20 points, 17 points, and we win the game 27-17? Are they the Commanders, who are the unstoppable team in the NFC East, or will they become, oh, you just beat the Commanders? That's what we're going to see. Oh, you only beat the Commanders. You only beat the Jets. You only beat the Chargers. You only beat the Falcons, who are leading their division now too. That's why I'm fired up. I'm fired up because of that reason. It was crazy, man. That was insane. Dead set. Yeah, he jumped backwards. I couldn't believe that. G'day, Jerry. What's going on? I should do something like that. I've just been so busy. To be very honest, the hard part is of this. It's a one-man show, and I do like a one-man show. But I've been so busy in my real job. I get the Monday, Tuesday off to watch the games. I should do more lives like this and people jumping in. In terms of scholarships, the HDU, Holy Dooly University, is a made-up online university where you guys support the work. If you click the join button, I haven't done as many live shows and memberships, but if I'm not doing videos, it doesn't mean I'm not here thanking you or appreciating the support. It just means I'm really busy doing a lot of stuff. A lot of things have been happening with as you know, I went to Bali for my mate's Bucks party. My Archie, it's almost been a month since we had to put down my dog Archie. That still kills me. That still hurts me a lot. So it's real life stuff, man. You won't see this shit on Chat Sports, where this week, Chat Sports and Jack Sparrow, or whatever his name is, he's got to choose. He's got to choose the Commanders or the Steelers. What the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. So we don't offer any scholarships, but I definitely should have some kind of fun in the off season. But you know what? The support has been unreal. It's almost had 2 years in the YouTube program to show a thank you to me. And it doesn't go unnoticed. It's one of the best things I think I've created here. It's a little bit of fun. We all feel like we are in a university. We meet up at a bar on Friday nights, or what's the night? Monday night after school, after work. Have a beer, have some pizza, have a good time. That's what it's all about, bro. It's all of it. So I appreciate that. That's insane, dude. That's insane too. Yeah, that was that was something that I know AB's trying to get back in the light. AB and Le'Veon Bell have been trying to get back in the black and gold, and AB's Twitter is just absolutely wild. But when you look back at that kick, man, that kick on the Browns was just something crazy. All right, side little note. Let's talk about the Browns. I know people sometimes some people aren't very happy about our 6-2 Steelers. We need to do better. We need to do this. Think of the Browns, though, man. Think of the Browns. I watched a documentary on the Browns on Cleveland Sports the other day, talking about Cleveland, the history of the city, the sports, the team, the Browns, the Indians, who are now the Guardians. I think that's for baseball. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, they're a tough nosed. You know what I mean? Like, I've never been there, but they seem like a tough crowd, like a tough mentality team, and their team sucks yet again. Like, the Browns had one win over the Ravens. They thought they were going to a wild card race, and then they got absolutely shut out by the Chargers. And Jameis Winston went off the week before getting 300 yards, and then next time he got like nothing, like 100 yards. They put so much money into Deshaun Watson that yet again it fucks them over for like the next 4 or 5 years in draft picks and money. Like, they just can't get out of their own way. They do have a good defense. Myles Garrett, don't like him what he did against Mason Rudolph, but Myles Garrett had a big game against the Chargers, and they were sacking Herbert like 3 or 4 times or whatever it may be. The Browns are a funny team because I did have a few Browns fans saying, "Oh, your Steelers are going to come last." That spot is almost reserved for Browns. It really is. It's either the Browns or the Bengals. Right now, the Bengals are clawing and waiting and trying to hang on by a thread to be in the AFC North conversation, where really it's the Steelers versus Ravens. And that's why it's so important to go on this. Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it now. Talk about the gauntlet, right? Because I'm sick of this fucking gauntlet. It's so important with this gauntlet. G'day, Thurl. What's going on? Don't apologize for life. You will be as good as you will be. Thank you for the effort. 100%. Thank you, mate. All right, let's talk about the gauntlet because we still have to play 6 AFC North teams, 2 each, and we haven't played them yet. The Commanders are first, then we go on a four stretch run, and everyone's worried about this. Well, not everyone. A few people are worried about this. The Commanders, the Ravens, the Browns in a short week on Thursday Night Football, back to the Bengals. Do you know what, though? That might be a tough game. At Cleveland could be a very tough game. At Bengals, and then versus the Browns, and then so on and so forth. So this is what it all ties back to as well. Ties back to with Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin goes through this and wins, let's say, seven games. Let's say he beats the Commanders. We beat Baltimore at home. We lose to the Browns. We beat the Bengals, beat the Browns. We then win in Philadelphia for the first time since, 1950. We win there. We sweep the Ravens. We beat the Chiefs, and then we lose to the Bengals or something like that. We go a 7-2. Say you go 7-2 record, and we improve to 13-4, and we win the AFC North. Because by the last game, I've got a bit of a theory too. I think the Steelers might be in a chance. Dead set, we might have a chance to win the AFC North on Christmas Day, 1 p.m. It would be the best present to every Steelers fan. And I'll be going to the game. And thank you, Gene, for that. I'll be buying you a beer or 2 over there, maybe even 3 beers and a burger. If the Steelers win and then we win the AFC North versus the Chiefs, that would be an absolute fucking highlight. A highlight. We could be at the time maybe a 12-win team or 11-win team. And if we win 12 games and no other team can catch us, where the Ravens are like, can only win 10 games for the season or something similar, that would be a highlight. If we sweep the Ravens and push them back, and then we beat the Chiefs and win the overall AFC North on that day, then we go through this stupid gauntlet. Then you put all that aside. Mike Tomlin was right about the choice to go and go with QB1 and bring back Russell Wilson, veteran quarterback, Super Bowl champion, guy who's been working in the offseason, guy who's been working out consistently and building up the Steelers fans and getting involved in community and getting involved working one-on-one with receivers. You bring Russell Wilson in, he goes on a stretch with this gauntlet. Not too worried about it, dude. Not too worried about it at all. So we could win the AFC North versus the KC Chiefs on Christmas Day, and then possibly we could lose against the Bengals 10 days later because they might play Justin Fields. But then even then, they still might win that game. If you're playing your backup quarterback versus the Bengals and it's a meaningless game, in that sense, you've already won the AFC North, maybe you're fighting for the first seed. Dude, I'm just saying, like, this team can go places, and I'm very happy and very proud of where they are. And I know this is a lot more harder games because the Commanders have a winning record, the Ravens have a winning record, the Eagles and Chiefs have a winning record, right? But we know how to play the Baltimore Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals in our division. So Tomlin does deserve respect. This team deserves respect at that sense. If they were to go Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we beat the Commanders, right? We win 17-13. We win 21 or 20. Boswell, 24-21 or something like that. 24-20. We beat the Commanders. They'll say, oh, it's only the Commanders. Then next we have the 4-game stretch versus AFC North opponents when the hard knock starts. And that's when the fun starts too. So Baltimore, Cleveland, Bengal, Browns, and 2 of those games are at home. I like us at home versus the Ravens. I think we can take care of business. And I think a tough game will be against the Browns in their stadium. So I'm just fired up, dude. I'm so fired up. Alrighty. Thank you, Still God. Yeah, I'm still thinking about him always. There are certain times when I look around, I go downstairs, I'm like, oh, damn. There's a lot. It's crazy. That's 1 minute they're with you, next minute they're not. That's the hard part. That's the really, really hard part. Alrighty. So what do we got? I jumped backwards like Saquon that's crazy, dude. Yeah, sometimes when you see those bugs, I feel the same way. I jump backwards when I see a Huntsman like that. I don't know what he's going to do. I think that's just the integrity of the game, the integrity of a fan. And I know I went to Super Bowl. I went to Super Bowl 50. I was drunk and I wore a Panthers hat. Don't hold that against me. But the fact that these blokes, they run a channel like this, they run both the Steelers channel and the Commanders channel. And I think I see a comment that he was going to be on the Steelers side. Well, what about all the Commanders fans, the 22,000 Commanders fans that think you're a Commanders, fan or reporter, and you just shit on them? It's just these people have zero integrity. They're all for money. They're all for playing the game. They're all for deceiving the audience, and that's what they do. The chat sports, like I said before, is Mondo Burger. I'm Good Burger. That's what it's up. All right. G'day, Portland. What's going on? I'm so keen for it. I'm so keen for these games. I'm so keen for the physicality of the games. I'm so keen for the overall game itself, like Steelers versus Commanders, Steelers versus Ravens. I'm keen to see that football. I'm not worried about the other team. They got to play us too. That's what they should be thinking. People are like, oh, we're going to play a really hard 8-game stretch. The Commanders have to play us. Who have they played? Let me see. Who have the Commanders played in sense of like hard teams? So Commanders, they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 1, 37-20. They beat the New York Giants 21-18. They smashed the smashed? There was a big scoring game versus Cincinnati 38-33. They beat Arizona on their day 42-14, and they've been playing some good football too, running with James Conner. I'll tell you that much. They smashed Cleveland 34-13. They lost to Baltimore 30-20. So in that sense too, you know what? They haven't played us yet. They haven't played our defense yet. We're like number 3 defense in the league. They beat Carolina 40-7. They beat Chicago 18-15 with a Hail Mary, which should have been our Steelers defense wins that game. We don't make stupid mistakes like that. You won't see JPJ waving to the crowd like that because there's no discipline in that Bears locker room with the coach. Coach got to say, don't wave to the crowd, and 4 secondary players jump forward. There's no one back there. Steelers wouldn't make that mistake. No way. They then beat New York 27-22. So who have the Commanders beat? Maybe, they've beat really the best team they've beaten is Cincinnati. And that's saying something because Cincinnati is a very 50-50 team. Cincinnati versus the Eagles got absolutely run over by Jalen Hurts. 3 TDs rushing, 1 passing. And it was one, they talk about this pass, that jet catch. That was a better pass to, I think it was Devontae Smith. A much better pass and catch. I would rather watch that highlight over and over. But now they're trying to link up between the Jets pass and OBJ, then one of the most overrated catches in my life that I've seen. Pickens did that against the Browns years ago. So who have the Commanders really played? To be honest, they played, Carolina. They swept them 40-7. Chicago got away with a Hail Mary. New York 27-22. But you're playing New York with a team that we beat as well. They haven't played our Pittsburgh Steelers yet. And on the road too, I think our Steelers are like, what are we on the road? I think we're really, really good. Have we lost a road game yet? I don't think so. Or we've lost one road game. We went to LA, we beat them. We went to Denver, we went to Atlanta. So we're 3-1 on the road, right? We've beaten Vegas, 30 points, New York, 37, 26 points. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers turn up and make this a hard game. I don't think the Commanders are going to run over us like scoring 30-something points. Not going to happen. Minka's playing defense. TJ Watt's playing defense. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. 100%. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. That's true. They get a short week too. And it's going to be very tough. I'm not going to be totally biased. I think the tough game versus the Browns on a short week on a Thursday night football game. Yeah, very, very tough. After you play the Ravens, I get that, 100%. Yeah, man, they have been. They do. The Chat Sports have a channel for everything, but it's funny because the exact same host is Commanders, and the exact same host is Steelers, and he gets paid like a normal wage. I don't hate him for that, and it's like I think the channel is just terrible channel. Thank you, still go 808. Yeah, we'll be out of here shortly too. I'm gonna go get ready to watch this. The game's not for another hour, so I might stay on for a bit. But thank you, still go 808 for coming on. And yeah, g'day Homer. What's going on, mate? How are you? Hooey dooey. Oh, 100% easy. Yep. You just got to pick a side who's up and coming. A lot of people do it. And look, YouTube channels are fun. They're hard work. Like mentally, not really physically. I can sit here all day unless I get a sore back. But mentally, there are a lot of hard work. You need to be entertaining, have fun. You need to have trust in the audience. You need to build that relationship. You need to be honest, and that's why I always fucking be honest all the time. So you can do that if you want to. That's it. Alrighty. 34-17 Steelers. Yep. Look, it's going to be a big game, and that's what I wanted to cover. I've covered the schedule. Okay, let's talk about before we get into questions. You guys have any questions? Let's talk about this receiver 2 thing one more time. I don't know about you, but I'm just over it. Like, yeah, the Steelers need probably some depth at receiver because you have Pickens, Austin playing fantastic, by the way. Austin's on fire. Pickens on fire too. It's really fun to see him gel and work with Russell Wilson getting back. It's going to be great. Look, going into this game versus Commanders, I want if they can't shut down Pickens or Austin, then we just use Najee. We run Najee. But in terms of like receiver depth, yes, there is definitely lacking depth because you go all the way through the roster and your 4th receiver and the only guy, there's no 5th receiver on the roster, is Scotty Miller. So it's Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Scotty Miller. Those are the guys that we play. But at the same time, this offense has been using more tight ends and been using Darnell and Freiermuth. You've even seen Pruitt, and they've been running the game that way, essentially putting Darnell on the edge of the line, and he's like another offensive lineman. The guy is 6'7". He's huge. You have him next to Broderick Jones, or you have him next to Dan Moore, and they're running and pushing people out of the way. Like, I understand we want this idea of a receiver number 2, or it's been it's been talked about that much. It gives you a headache. But the offense is moving around with tight ends, and they're also activating on game day. Freiermuth, Darnell, Pruitt, Haywood, and Rodney Williams to play teams. So they're going that route. And don't forget about Cordarrelle Patterson, who can play running back and receiver in the slot. He can play receiver. He did it before, I think, with the Falcons and with the Vikings too. So yeah, and Homer said too bad about the Kirk news. I did hear there was an idea about bringing a receiver because he hurt his shoulder, but this time, exactly right. That's probably the best comment. We're good, but depth is always good too. So do that. And the thing is, I think if they haven't made a move yet, do we really think that Omar Khan will make a move tomorrow? Is he going to leave it to the last minute? I think a lot of fans might be thinking, oh, Omar Khan's sitting on his hands. He's not sitting on his hands. I don't think he'd be sitting on his hands. He'd be doing the best that he can do. And we don't want to give away the house in terms of like high draft picks and all those things to mortgage the future and get into trouble down the line. You also want somebody who wants to come here and play to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. You need the contract to make sense. You need the trade to make sense. So I'm not overly worried if it does not happen. But yes, depth is always good. Depth is good at any position. We noticed that with our center, Ryan Coleman's been filled in. Zach Frazier's been playing fantastic before he got injured. Outside linebacker, you had 2 blokes who were on the practice squad, didn't know who they were, and now maybe Nick Herbig's coming back. So depth is always good at that position too. And same with the cornerback spot too. So will it happen? I don't know. I'm just kind of glad the next few days, the All Steelers talk, the chat sports, all those losers, right? All those hot take, like click this for that, and do we need a trade? That will have to end. because we're at the point now, once the trade talk is done, they can't trade. All we can really do is go and get people off the street or from practice squads and stuff like that. There is no more trade news of like, should the Steelers go and trade for DK Metcalf? It just can't happen. It can't happen anymore in that sense because it's kind of like it's not available to happen. Then we saw the Deontay Johnson trade to the Ravens. I don't think he was used that much, right? Not too worried about that. And DJ is going to verse our Steelers. You think I'm worried about fucking DJ in the Ravens colors? No, I'm not. No way. I'm not too sure because I'm not even sure how much in kilos. I don't know. Dude, I couldn't tell you. I don't even know how many kilos because you guys use pounds. I use kilos. What is that? 265 pounds. Oh no, I think he's more than that. Maybe like 280. Hang on. I'd say maybe 295, like 130. He's a big fella. I don't know, maybe like 295 or something like that. Like I use kilos, that's for sure. Alrighty. I stayed out of the NFL. Did you play, Carth? Did you play football? I stayed out of the NFL. If I'm there on the street if they need me later on in the season. What did you play? What position did you play for the Steelers? Yeah, he's at definitely like 130. He's like 130 or something. TE coach said he is over yeah, that 300 is like 140 kilos. He's a big guy. He's like 6'7", something like that. Oh no, he didn't play. All right, Steel Nation, I'm pretty good anyways. I feel fucking fantastic. I feel ranted out. Don't worry about all this noise. That is the schedule. This is probably the best team we've had since a long time. It's like 2015, 2016 in terms of secondary, in terms of like some depth, in our running backs, some quality, 100%. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he would have been up here too. He would have been up there. So this team is playing physical football, and I think a lot of the NFL fan bases and media, they're so mesmerized by the Ravens or mesmerized by the Jets comeback and that crazy play. They're mesmerized by the Bengals and the Bills and the Chiefs and all that kind of stuff, those kind of narratives. They're forgetting about our Steelers and our Steelers that we can have we're leading the AFC North. And if we beat the Commanders, we might get a little bit of respect, a little bit. But anyways, guys, you guys want to put any more questions in the chat? I might post that Mike Tomlin bit because I think he does deserve to be Coach of the Year. I might post it tomorrow, but I'm going to go watch the Buccaneers game. I'm going to go watch the Buccaneers versus Chiefs, and hopefully they can lose. But anyone's got any more comments in the chat, please let me know, or questions, and we should be good. But yeah, we'll get into it, man. We'll get into it. Season 2 nonsense is going to end very shortly. It's going to end very, very shortly. All right, guys. No comments, no chats, nothing. All right, we're done. I think we're done. Thank you, Steel Nation, for checking out Steel Nation Australia. That was awesome. Good show. I'm going to go watch the Buccaneers game. And, we're going to slowly build up towards, thank you, Garth, slowly build up towards the Steelers versus Commanders. And remember, they have to play us too. The Commanders, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, the Browns, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, Bengals, they all have to play us too. Don't forget that. So thank you everyone for the video, for coming in the live stream and having a bit of fun. 44 minutes. It was awesome. Good time. I will see you guys later on. I'll see you guys later. Hey, Rod. Left the light on. See you later. Bye.